Mermaid Junkies, how are you? I hope you've had a great 2 weeks. I don't think I put any videos out last week, but I'm gonna give you a bunch this week, okay? So I wanted to speak about the 10 treasure trove tips to creating financial abundance. So the first one is, thoughts create your reality. A lot of times, I'm sure that you've seen this, and I think even with my own experience, is that you want to see the manifestation of the money before actually the money is there. So basically it's kind of like faith. You have to have faith that you're going to see the money even though you haven't seen the money yet. I think that's what a lot of people do, and a lot of people think that in order to believe it, I have to see it. And so I think if you want to use that in connection with abundance, financial abundance, or abundance in anything, but mostly I'm thinking about financial abundance right now, is that you have to believe that you're financially abundant before you actually are. It's all in your thought process. So once you create that reality in your mind and you believe it, that is when the financial abundance will come. Okay, treasure trove tip number 2. Change your beliefs about abundance. I think for me, when I started doing some inner work and trying to understand years and years ago, I think it was in my early 20s, I always had this belief about money, and I would associate it with oh, if you're financially wealthy, you're either a criminal, you're selfish, you inherited it, I was jealous, or you think they're doing that little booger over there is doing something. They're doing something to get that money. They can't be, getting it all on their own or anything. And I think that's one of the things that causes us to not have financial abundance, is because we have a terrible belief system. And so you might say, okay, well, maybe I don't believe that. Maybe you don't have that belief system. But you also are contradicting in the belief system that you have. Oh, I believe that everybody should have enough money or whatever, but there's only a certain amount of money that can go around. The pie's only so big for a certain amount of people. And that right there is a contradicting belief comparative to the belief that you have about financial abundance. And so when you have two contradicting beliefs, you can never vibrate in the one that is the positive, because the other one will override it. Okay, number 3 is, trust that there is enough pie for everyone. And I like to use this, and I'm a huge follower and fan of Abraham Hicks, and she talks about there's enough pie for everybody. And she gives the analogy of illness and sickness. You wouldn't necessarily go, I wouldn't to myself say, okay, I'm going to, since I've been healthy for most of my life, because these people are struggling with cancer, I'm going to decide that I'm going to be unwell for a certain amount of time, because I've had all my wellness, so now I need to be sick because these other people aren't well. And so she gives the analogy of you would never in your right mind think that way. But for some reason, people do that with financial abundance. They think that, oh, well, I have this much abundance and wealth. I better not have this much abundance and wealth so that these other people can have abundance and wealth. Because we all know, well, you may not know, but your thoughts create your reality. So if you're looking at financial abundance in a negative way like that, or if you're thinking in that kind of belief system, that's the reason you don't have financial abundance. Number 4 is, sorry, I have to look at my notes because I forget, because me, if I don't write them down, I get on tangent, you guys, and then I will completely realize, oh, that was 20 minutes of not telling them exactly what they thought they were coming to the video for. So the other thing I was going to talk about is, okay, so number 4 is when you are happy without the financial abundance is when you will have the financial abundance. And this kind of goes back to number 1, the first treasure trove tip is that you have to believe, and it takes a little bit of dreaming, it takes a little bit of not living in reality for you to believe that. But you're sitting there thinking, okay, Raquel, I'm saying all this and I believe that I'm, financially abundant, but there's no money in the bank and I don't foresee any money coming and being put into the bank. But here is the thing, is that in order for you to be here, thinking and living in abundance and having abundance in your life, you have to believe that way first. So your thoughts, once again, your thoughts create your reality. And so if you can believe that you are financially abundant or abundant in any way, vibrationally, that is what, again, is what the universe hears. The universe does not hear what you say. The universe hears what you mean. And so if you can get into alignment and realize that we are abundant, like God spins worlds on axles and he can't give us abundance. I mean, we have to learn that he always has our back. The universe is always going to provide for us. And so if you can really start to believe that, like not just believe it, but know it with a surety, the abundance absolutely will come. It's a law, it's the laws. It's the law of attraction. And so you can't deny laws. Okay, so number 4 is still going on with a little bit, for that, because I remember when I was telling a particular family member about I really don't like my hair. I blew dry it. I blowed it out straight because I put an oil treatment on it, and it's driving me nuts. Okay, but anyway, I remember telling a certain family member about saying, now that I've gotten back into my art and all that kind of stuff, I would really love to make money being an artist. And this is another thing that you can surely find out, who the people that say the things that you think you want to hear or really mean the things that they're saying. Because there's so many times when you become financially abundant or you become successful, you really start to weed out through recognizing how people, they might say they're not jealous of you, or you would never think that they were envious of you or envious of your abundance or whatever. But you can really start to tell when you're sharing things with them or you're saying a certain thing to them. Like I remember telling, like I said, a family member about how I wanted to be an artist and I wanted to shoot YouTube videos and I wanted to be successful and get paid for doing that. And instead of her being really and she's an artsy person, and instead of her being really supportive and saying, Raquel, I believe in you, I think you can do it. You could totally do this. She was completely in a kind of sidestep of a way. She was like, you can't make any money being an artist. Do you know how many beautiful, wonderful artists there are out there that never make any money, that their art sits in galleries and they just can never sell it and they're really, really good? And so I kind of got on this little conversation with her because I was like, I said, I think it's really because of the vibration or the belief system that this person has about money. So on top of it, they have another job, where they do something else, like sitting in an office or something, and that's where they make their real money. But they love their artistry and they're wanting to be an artist, but they can never sell their art. It just sits in there for years and stuff. And I was trying to explain to her that it's because of the belief system in that person. They're believing my art isn't going to sell. It's like the universe is giving him exactly what he's putting out into the universe is, I'm never going to make money off of this art. It sits here. It's never going to get sold. People don't want to pay this much for it. And so guess what you're going to get in return? That exact kind of customer. Never going to buy that piece of art. It's beautiful to look at, and I'll go into this art gallery and look at these exhibits, but I'm not going to buy that. It's too expensive, because you get back what you're putting out in the universe. It's so beautiful when you can recognize the law of attraction and how it works. you know, it's everyone's special, and that's the beautiful thing about it. And so I was really kind of saddened in a little bit of a way, because I thought, you know, wow, I would have thought I would have got a little bit of support. I mean, I know I'm no Michelangelo. I mean, I haven't been painting, but total probably in the year when I was going through my divorce, I don't think I painted one. I think I painted 2 times in that whole year. And so before that, I had only painted a couple of things, but I've had such an outpouring, and I think it's because I believe I can make money and I can live out my dream. And it's all in what I as a person am believing about my financial abundance. And I truly, truly believe that. I've made quite a bit of money off of my little paintings and stuff and prints and everything. And I'm just so grateful for that. And I just know that it's because I have that belief system that I believe that all things are working out for me. And so all things are always working out for you. It's just sometimes we need to change our belief system, because I did used to have a really negative belief system about that. Like I said, this is again falls on step number 1, but not number 5 is that you have to believe that you're going to have financial abundance before you actually receive it. And I liken it to, you know, the universe isn't trucking in any more, you know, money from other planets. I mean, it's all coming from here somewhere, right? I mean, what, a couple of centuries ago, we were exchanging feathers and shells and furs and things for money. You know what I'm saying? And so everything is possible, and there is enough to go around. There is enough to go around. You have to believe that. Like I said, you know, God can spin worlds on axles close in proximity to each other. So if he can do that, the universe can do that. Don't you think that you could have financial abundance, that there's enough and it's not going to run out? That's a scarcity mentality that you have of a belief system if you believe that there's only enough to go around. I mean, have you ever noticed, like, I've done a lot of research on like lottery winners, and you know, you look at some people that have gotten large, massive amounts of money, and they blow it, or they lose it all, or somehow invest it wrong. I mean, like, it ends up going away. And you sit there and go, what do you mean? And the fact of the matter is that this particular person, yeah, they were probably vibrating on a certain, you know, just, they were probably in alignment at that particular moment, you know, when they won the lottery or whatever. But if you don't have a consistent belief system that, you know, that you are deserving, and that you have a beautiful belief about financial abundance, you're not going to keep it. It's like water. It will run right through your hands. I mean, I'm sure you've seen that before. You know, big ball players or something that make a lot of money, and they end up going to prison because they never paid their taxes, or, you know, it goes away. And so I'm trying to give the example of, it doesn't matter the amount of money that you get or that you don't have. It's all in what your belief system about the money is. And so, like, again, you know, I'm trying to reiterate that over and over, because, you know, belief system, you know, you can't get rid of a belief, but the only thing you can do is incorporate a new belief to replace that one. And so eventually that old belief will go away and dissipate, and the new one will become very thriving if you focus on that particular belief. Okay, number 6 is do what you love. I think that, you know, there was a time in my life that I was thinking, you know, I can't do what I love. I mean, again, this is another belief system. I can't do what I love because I'm not going to make any money doing what I love. And, you know, that was our making YouTube videos and stuff. So what do you think the universe rewarded me with? Not making any money, doing YouTube videos and painting. And so, like I said, I had to change that belief system about it and tell myself over and over until I actually believe it. Now, I don't just believe it, like, I know it. Without a doubt, I know it. I've seen so many manifestations of my abundance. And so it's a good indication that if you're getting what you're putting out, that you know you're on the right track, right? Okay, number 7 is, okay, in order to have financial abundance, you cannot be envious of other people that have abundance. Have you ever seen somebody that's like, you know, and I've known a lot of people like this, is that they'll be like, oh, well, of course that person has money. They don't have any worries in the world. I mean, their dad's gonna, you know, will them his entire fortune when he dies. Or, oh, of course that person has money, you know, but they're doing it illegally. You know, and so that compensates for why, you know, well, that's why I don't have money, because I'm a good person and I'm not evil. I would never, you know, be vindictive with, you know, trying to swindle money out of people or whatever. And so once again, that's a horrible belief system. Not, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's just a belief system that you have to like reincorporate a new belief system, because that's not true. I mean, have you seen that there's some people in life that are working for peanuts and they never can seem to keep money in their bank account? And yet there's some people that are just making hand over fist money, and it seems like when you look at them, they're like, they don't even do anything. What do they do to work? They don't even work. Like, how are they sitting on the beach? Like, you have to make a living, you know? And so I think that that's just, it's really funny, because I used to think that too. That's why I think it's so hilarious. But when you can get past not being jealous of other people, because when you're jealous of other people, the universe is not going to reward you. It's just going to reward you with more people to be jealous of. That's how it works. So anyway, so I just want to become a creator yourself. I think the biggest thing for me, and I don't know if it's because I'm a Pisces and I'm very, very mutable, you know, because I'm a fish, but Pisces have a tendency to become self-absorbed with a lot of different things across the board. So we're a very mutable sign, which means we're a water sign. So we will mutate into all these, you know, what other people do, and then you'll get inspired from them. And that's a beautiful thing, is that we get inspired from just like minute things. But I think the best thing for me personally on my own particular journey, is that I can't spend a lot of time on television, and I can't spend a lot of time on social media. Now, of course, I'm on social media all the time, but I'm always just posting things, and I'll scan through things and sometimes comment on a little bit or whatever, but I don't sit there and scroll through people's things, because I think that it causes me to get sidetracked. And so when you're a creator and you're wanting to create abundance, you need to be very, very focused on what your actions are. Not actions, but what your vibration is. And so if you get, you know, sidetracked and you start looking at other people's galleries on Instagram, or and I know this by experience in my particular journey, is that it's just important. And it's not important that you look at other people's stuff. And you know why? Because as soon as you realize who you are and what you stand for and what you represent, the universe will reward you with beautiful creativity. And you are, I mean, because we are all creators. And so you will find all of those beautiful things that are just for you. Like it's just yours in the universe. And so you can be inspired by other people. I mean, I'm inspired by Beatrix Potter, you know, and she drew animals and stuff. But I think if you can just really be, you know, own your own individuality and character, is when the universe will reward you as well. Golly, I'm really going over on this time, you guys. I'm sorry. La, 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 la. Okay, and so number 9 is, oh, this is a really cool one, and I wish I would have brought it over here, but I'd have to get up. Anyway, I think I spoke to you guys one time about I should do a video on that actually, because I just wrote a post on it. But anyway, when you want financial abundance, the treasure trove tip number 9 is speak in the now. And so instead of saying I want or I need money, that kind of thing, speak in the now, in the moment. Because you know what, everything we're living is yesterday, it's moments ago, in the past. Everything that I just in this video 19 minutes ago is in the past, right? So you have to speak in the now. And so I have an affirmation that I've done, and I have little hearts in my wallet. I have them on the refrigerator. I have them in the mirror, and in my car. I just have them everywhere. And it's because the more that you implement beliefs in your thought process, the more you start to believe them. And so mine is, I am wealth, abundance, and prosperity. Money flows to me easily and freely. And so I say that like a lot, and it actually has manifested. It actually comes true when you believe that. I keep messing with my hair, and I apologize. Sorry, I'm being very fidgety. Okay, so number 10 to the treasure trove tip. Number 10 is all things are working for your good. And so no matter where you are in life, no matter what circumstances you're in now, maybe you're like, okay, that's great, and that's a beautiful little video, Raquel, but that still doesn't change the fact that there's still no money in my account. I mean, because at the end of the day, this is what it's about, is that slowly implementing these things into your life. And it's okay where you're at right now. Everything is perfectly aligned for you every single moment of your day. And I think a lot of times people want to look to the future, and they want to go, okay, but when I get $5,000 in my account and my mortgage is caught up and I don't have any car payments, or that car's paid off, or when I can get that new couch and love seat and that ensemble from the furniture store, is then when I'll be happy. Or when I get granite countertops, oh my God, then I'll be so much happier. But here's the truth. The truth is that if you're never happy in that moment, and I think I realized this, you guys, when I was going through my divorce, is when you have nothing to your name except for a few outfits. Like, I literally left and I had a suitcase, and I had probably like 3 outfits that I would wear over and over and over again. I had like a little bit of makeup, and I had a curling iron, and my essential oils. Seriously, that was about it. And I realized that I needed to be happy with what I had and where I was in life. Like, I have my happiness within me. And so all of the other things, that crap, all of those houses, those big ass houses that I lived in, decorated cute, all the kind of accessories that you would want and everything, but I was freaking miserable. And so I was like, okay, now I have nothing. And you realize, you know what? If you're happy with nothing, do you realize how much happier how much more of an abundant person that you are if you can look through life and go, oh my God, I'm totally happy in this house, and there's so many things to be done in the little cottage. I mean, there's so many things to be done, but you know what? I do not care. I'm as happy. I mean, this is fairy tale life for me, honest to goodness. And I think if you can get to that point, it's a very, very elevated feeling, and the universe will reward you. And so those are my 10 treasure trove tips to financial abundance. I hope you like them. I hope you stuck around for the 24 minutes that I've been talking, and I really missed you, and thank you for swimming by. And as always, I'm yours until my next swim. Ciao!